Max Payne 1 is the game where you go on a 3-night rampage in a snowstorm-covered New York, home of seedy hotels, secret underground government research bunkers, drug-peddling mobsters, higher corporate desk squads, and me, Viking Man. Our journey begins with the tutorial, where we are told about all of the game's mechanics. It isn't anything revolutionary as far as tutorial goes, but it does tell us one very important thing. Yeah. Max Payne was released in 2001, and as such it doesn't really jam with modern systems, so to fix this issue we're going to need to download and install an unofficial sound patch. To install the patch, play the tutorial again, and we are introduced to the main protagonists. Max, the Painkillers, and our trusty dual Berettas. And then the antagonists, Phone Lady, the Punchinello crime family, and the Goons. The first mission began in our home, where our family has just been brutally murdered by a bunch of junkies high on Valkyr, which will either cause you to become a vegetable or to find God.
Beelzebub, Asmodeus, Baphomet, Lucifer, Loki, Cthulhu, Lilith, Hela, blood given to you all.
Cool stuff. Having dispatched the fiends, we then decide to go undercover with the mob to find out who makes the drugs so we can find them and convince them to stop. A few months pass and we get a call from BB, one of our contacts within the DEA, who tells us to meet with Alex, our boss, in a subway nearby to discuss something urgent about the case. This is where things start to go wrong, because we are not met by our boss, but by a bunch of dead train guards and a small army of mafia dudes who are not there just because they like trains. A firefight breaks out where we shoot all the dudes, crash a train into an abandoned train station, and waste my precious resources on killing rats. We then find our way into the bank vaults located right next to the train station, which is currently being robbed. Some more bad guys using some very cinematic moves troll the chief of the NYPD, who is currently laying siege to the bank because we're bad boys, and find out that the bad guys were after the boss from the Acer company, which probably is completely unrelated to our story, so we blow our way out just in time for Alex to get shot in the head. By none other than Sir Elton John. As you probably realize, this turns an already bad situation into a bigger, even badder situation, because we are about to get framed for it. However, before we find out this nefarious detail, we make our way to the hotel of Jack Lupino, a underboss in the Italian mafia. There, we are met by the Finito brothers, the left and right nut in Lupino's mobster ballsack. It turns out that Jack has found out that we are in fact cops and have decided that we had to go. So we murder the fuck out of them and everyone else in the hotel, you know, we're the good guys. Having killed a lot of people, we found an Easter egg and read the diary of a lady named Candy Dawn, who sells home movies to the highest bidder, which again probably isn't very important and won't save our asses later down the line. After that, we threw ourselves off high surfaces for science and ate a highly nutritious and well-balanced vending machine meal. Oh, we also burnt a guy and found a baseball bat that was briefly used to violently put a premature end to a Valkyr drug deal. Progress was made. It wasn't long after that we ran into Rico Muerte, a hired hitman, and Candy Dawn, who I assume was about to make another home movie, and then proceeded to die repeatedly for about 7 minutes straight. It is safe to say that after shooting Candy in the face 8 times with my trusty dual Berettas, it was rapidly starting to lose its charm. Eventually, however, we managed to win the fight through the clever use of game mechanics and Molotov cocktails. Having aired out the entire hotel, we decided it was time to leave, which luckily coincides with Vladimir Lem, the leader of the Russian mob, blowing up the place and blocking my path with a burning gasoline truck, which was less than ideal. But after searching the streets for a while, we soon find some more bad guys to kill, which unfortunately leaves me very close to death. I then decided to shoot a couple of gas tanks, thinking that they would blow a hole in the wall for me to pass through, which they did. Just not the walls I was expecting. Oh shit! Oh no. After that, things went pretty smooth. We talked to a mystery man on the phone named Alfred and spent the rest of the evening stalking through some not-so-abandoned apartment buildings looking for this guy, Vinny Gogniti, so we could ask him where Jack was. Having chased Vinny for quite some time, we were treated to an in-game cutscene. I don't know how it was supposed to have played out, but I'm pretty sure that it wasn't like this.
It's Payne! He's coming down the stairs! Shoot the bastard!
Okay, boss, you got it.
No problem.
Hey!
Some more chasing after that, and we caught up with him, and he spilled the beans about his boss's location, and we made our way to the Ragnarok Nightclub. The deeper we penetrated into the club, the more disturbing things get, as we find evidence on some rather unconventional religious practices, which probably isn't sanctioned by anyone really, and we also show off some sick moves on the dance floor. Eventually, we reach Lupino's inner sanctum, where after fighting our way through a Matrix fan meet, we see the big man himself, and it's safe to say that not only was he high on GOD, but also on every other substance known to man, and probably some that were not.
You'll die! You'll die! Now! All die! Oh!
After a fight that took way too long, we finally killed the mad lad just to be confronted by this woman, Mona Sachs. A hitwoman who tells us that Lupino was way too bombed out of his mind to have set us up, and that it's really Angelo Punchinello, the Big Don himself, who is responsible and asks us to team up to take him down. After which he naturally drugs us and promptly gets fuck out. The worst part isn't that we just got Bill Cosby, but that it forced us to play one of the worst maps in video game history, in which you have to run through a jank-ass maze of corridors in slow motion, with the constant crying of a baby and the scream of your dead wife in the background, which in the end leads to an even worse maze with jumping puzzles, which makes me wanna die. Yeah, I wanna die. That's it. Thankfully, you wake up to being beaten by this guy, cleverly referred to as the Bat. Eventually, he leaves to take a drink, because bashing our head in is hard work, so we break free, kill everyone, and make our way back to the hotel, where we get caught off guard by a man taking a shit with a sawed-off shotgun in his underpants. Oh fuck! No, damn it. We then find the Bat drinking by the bar, which leads to a second shootout in less than 24 hours, where we die repeatedly in the same place. After dying an unspecified amount of times, we cleverly stagger our opponent during his reload animation and promptly kill him. Having cleaned out the hotel for a second time in 2 days, we were offered an offer we can't refuse. By a Russian. Not what you were expecting, I know, but all I had to do was kill a boatload of other Russians, and in return I would get guns. Lots of guns. So naturally, we accept. An hour or so later, and we had enough guns to start World War III, so we called the Big Don himself to set up a meeting so we could negotiate. He tells us to go to his restaurant and wait there, which turns out being a trap. Shocking. So we escape through the sewers and hook back up with the lad, who, out of the kindness of his own heart, drives us to the Don's mansion. We storm the place, play the theme tune on the piano, and die repeatedly in yet another bar. A theme was emerging. But not to worry, after having repeatedly slammed my forehead into the problem, we eventually prevailed. Killed some more dudes, and then this happened. Oh fuck, no. Twice. Oh fuck, damn it. After that, it was straight to the boss's office, but before we could finish the job, we get kill-stealed by these Agent Smith-looking motherfuckers and then mercilessly gunned down ourselves. Thankfully, we had quick save, so we murdered the fuck out of them just to be confronted by more agents and this lady, who gives us an overdose of Valkyr, which dumps us right back into Blood Maze, a fact that I wasn't very happy about. Not this fucking shit-ass. Fuck, god damn it. Shit. Fuck, Earth, please. Fuck. I was losing my will to live, but we persisted, and eventually we awoke in a puddle of our own puke.
Woke up in a cold sweat.
Nice. We then made our way to an old steel foundry, where we tried to outsmart some laser trip mines and failed miserably. So we took out our frustration on the hired help, died some more, and then got stuck on a jumping puzzle. Twice. Fuck! Why didn't I say? Eventually, we found our way to an elevator that brought us down to a secret government bunker, where we were treated to yet another in-game cutscene. Having explored the place, we eventually found out that Valkyr was a secret combat drug designed by the government. The project was cancelled, but not cancelled enough, so we set the bunker to self-destruct and made our way to the surface, died a few times to environmental fuck yous from the developers, and got back in touch with BB. He told us to meet him in a nearby parking garage so we could have a chat, where it turns out that he was Sir Elton John all along, and he was now going to kill us too. We kill all his goons and chase his car down the car park, where we find him and convince him to hand over his shiny new experimental shotgun called the Jackhammer. We then talk to Alfred again, who tells us to go to the Asgard building so he could tell us who was really behind it all, and to no one's surprise, it was Karen, the phone lady who drugged us. The bitch. The meeting was then rudely interrupted by more agents who kills everyone, so we jump out the window, break into the cellar, and do what we do best. We kill people, you know, because we're the good guys. Having killed a small army of hired corporate death squads, we found a home movie starring Alfred and Candy Dawn, which we took for safekeeping. We then tried to outsmart some more trip mines and went to finish things. The Acer building is large, ultra-modern, and filled to the brim with all those people that were too unstable to join any government agency or branch of the armed forces. But I had one advantage: drugs. Lots of drugs. So we stormed the place and reenacted the lobby scene from The Matrix. When we had killed a sizable chunk of people and made it a few floors up the building, we ran into Mona Sachs again, with whom we shamelessly flirted, just for her to end up getting shot. So we avenged her, find out that she might not be dead after all, take the elevator and die to more mines. No, fuck, no! Then we heard this.
Bullet time, that's what they call it. Bullet time, yeah, would be so cool.
Which made us do this. After that, there were some more elevator rides in which we got killed by a helicopter, we blew up the building servers, more elevator rides, killed some more people, and hacked Karen's computer. And finally, after that, we got to exchange some light-hearted banter with the queen bitch herself, and then of course she sent her goons after us. So we killed all of them, fought a helicopter again, and promptly jumped off the building. No. Eventually, we found ourselves at the top of the building, with Karen running for the helicopter and the game telling us in no subtle way that maybe, just maybe, the antenna might be persuaded to smash the fuck out of her. So, being the very persuasive man that we are, we shoot the support cables and watch as the antenna made some questionable advances towards Karen's helicopter, and then caused about 15 tons of steel to fall onto the streets of downtown New York. But I'm sure that no one was hurt, especially all the police officers that were surrounding the building on my citywide manhunt. I'm sure they're fine. So, that was it. Our family was avenged, the bad guys were all dead, and so was a small nation worth of goons. Our 3-night rampage across the city was done, and the economic damage we had caused it in lost tax revenue, overtime, and the resulting power vacuum in the underworld would probably be felt for years to come. And there we have it, Max Payne 1. It might be a little janky, it might be showing its age, but it's nonetheless one of the truly greats. And that's about it, so thank you all so much for watching. There's more videos to come, so stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.